You like playing the World of Warcraft. That is why you're here. You enjoy making new friends while venturing out into an ever-changing world. You take up the mantle of a mage, a warrior, a priest, a monk, or many other different fantasies, and you delve into this strange world knowing that, even though it may not be real, you may very well call this world your home. You want to face difficult enemies 10 times your size, and you want to smite them down upon the ground, leaving the battlefield victorious. You want you and your friends to enjoy every moment in this world, and you want to push your experience as far as possible, but you just don't know where to start. Finding the right raid to raid with can be a difficult task at first. So many factors come into play when trying to make a decision that may follow you for months, years, heck, even a decade for some. My name is Angelo, and today I want to help you obtain some clarity about raiding, and hopefully help you find the ideas and principles you want to follow when we talk about raiding in the world of Warcraft. From the complete newcomer, to the filthy casual, to the die-hard try-hard. We'll go through everything you need to be aware of in order to find the right raid for you. Sit back, get a clear head, and let's go ahead and have a look. Raiding. The pinnacle of PvE content. The biggest fear to some and the greatest love to many. Whooping ass and taking names with 10, 20, 30 players is something most of us thoroughly enjoy. But we've all been in the position of not being sure that whether or not the way we're raiding is the one that actually suits us best. Some are stuck with a raid group that is too casual, while others struggle to keep up with their competition in the group. Raiding has so many different facets, and it's important that you find the niche that suits your preferences and personal boundaries the most. In order to figure this out though, there are some questions you have to ask yourself. First off, ask yourself what it is that you truly want. Are you satisfied by only raiding LFR because you don't really care about gear or competitiveness? Will normal mode suffice for you, as you just want to have a good time with some friends or perhaps even meet new people? Is heroic something that interests you even more, as it's a bit of a challenge and mixes fun with challenging gameplay? Or do you strive for mythic difficulty, hoping to achieve ultimate glory and mastering your class to the utmost maximum? To truly answer this question, we need to consider the limitations brought onto us from multiple sources. Maybe you're a hard-working individual, crunching out 9 hours or more a day at work, and just want to relax when playing the World of Warcraft. Maybe you're a parent and can't afford sacrificing a lot of your evening time for raiding. Or maybe you're a student who has more time on his or her hands than others and are willing to sacrifice all your evenings for things you enjoy doing most. Basically, what you should ask yourself is what I want worth more than what is required of me in this given situation? I know, I've been throwing a lot of questions at you, but you're here for the answers, so I don't want to hold you up any further. Let's go through every raid difficulty and have a look at what is required of you in each difficulty. Starting us off, of course, is the Raid Finder tool, or LFR for short. Aimed specifically at players who want to experience the raid in its most simplistic structure without having to put literally any effort into the task, this difficulty does not require you to have any gear, enchants, or gems to help you succeed. Objectively speaking, the LFR isn't a bad idea. It allows everyone to partake in every aspect of WoW's ever-progressing story and gameplay. This is good for people who don't have much time on their hands, as LFR gives them a way of not being left out of the loop. The gear that is found here is not really competitive with that in other difficulties though, but that isn't the point of LFR, of course. I'm not gonna lie to you though about the social aspects of this difficulty. Odds are you'll be making more enemies than friends in LFR, as most people in your groups are most likely strangers and will never be in contact with you again after this. Many people join LFR on their many alts, while others who are in your group have never raided before, and this difference further strangulates the feeling of community and a common goal. Overall though, LFR is an effective tool to introduce you to the raiding environment, and the mode delivers exactly what it is intended to do. Keep in mind that the LFR mode will not open up until a month or two after normal and heroic mode are enabled in order to ensure that the LFR will remain in its individual niche, and of course to prevent players from using this as a gearing tool. If you enjoy the social aspect of World of Warcraft above all else, then normal mode suits you the most. A bit more challenging than LFR, normal mode is aimed at people who enjoy the game for its very essence, having fun with your friends. As you can see from the background footage, normal mode is certainly not meant to be difficult. Boss mechanics are forgiving, and only punish you after 2 or 3 failed performances. This again supports the idea that this difficulty is not meant to be hard. Loot here starts to be a bit more interesting, and you may very well put a bit of a thought process behind your actions. The social aspect of normal mode is unrivaled, and I have never joined a normal mode group that was not fun. I've made many friends by just joining normal raids late nights, or while running this difficulty on one of my alts. Typically, you don't need to invest a lot of time into normal mode, which makes it perfect for busy individuals. This also means that you can complete this difficulty without having to join a guild or a set raid team, as normal difficulty is designed for completion with, well, complete strangers really. All in all, normal mode offers a bit of engaging gameplay while pushing the community feeling high. You don't have to be the top-notch raider to partake in this difficulty, and I'm sure you'll make a lot of friends through this mode in Legion. In heroic mode, things get a bit more interesting. Heroic difficulty is in a very individual spot when it comes to raiding, and builds the bridge between casual and hardcore. Mechanics will be less forgiving here, and may possibly kill your character after a single misplay. Heroic mode is the first difficulty that truly forces you to have a look at ability timers, boss mechanics, and your personal performance. In Heroic, the idea slowly starts to become clear that from this difficulty onwards, you will be forced to pay attention and to challenge yourself at all times. The aspect of a community is still very present, but the trends slowly shift, and fun with friends is generally not the driving force at this point anymore. Instead, making progress on a boss is the main goal of most people at this point, and here we begin seeing the first aspects of competition. You'll begin to realize that you can't expect your group to carry you through this difficulty, and likewise, your group will realize that no one really can be dead weight, as this will sever the progression of all of you. If you're willing to invest a little more time in order to raid Heroic, then be aware that in order to take this task on properly, preparation is necessary. Reading up on boss guides, obtaining the best possible gear in advance, and knowing how to play your class to a relatively high level compared to your peers is the advice I would give you. Because of all of this needed preparation, you'll probably join a solid raid squad at this point, and that is definitely a good thing. Heroic difficulty isn't easy to step up to with players you don't know and cannot predict, so my advice for you would be to find a raiding group that shares your goals of completing heroic content. Where heroic difficulty was the bridge connecting casual gameplay to a more competitive-oriented gameplay, Mythic difficulty is the far end of the spectrum. Designed, balanced, and developed for players who will not scare away of an incredible challenge, this mode separates players very quickly. Mythic bosses are unforgiving and will not only kill your own character after you make a mistake, but instead will most likely wipe your entire raid group. Being at the vanguard of their class peers, most if not all Mythic raid groups expect a lot of their players, and with good reason. Being completely enchanted, gemmed, and having the best possible items in every item slot aren't really optional, they're mandatory. Knowing each and every aspect your class has to offer will be required of you in every sense. Your competition will be fierce most of the time, as, especially at the beginning of a new raid tier, players in this niche will be completely focused on achieving nothing but the best. In order to compete in Mythic, you have no choice but to join or form a solid raid group, as this isn't accessible cross-realm. The feeling of community in this difficulty can vary extremely. Some Mythic raiding guilds are very friendly, social, and forgiving of mistakes. Realistically speaking though, this is the exception though, as most guilds will not scare away from benching members for the sake of progression. If you as a player enjoy WoW because you want to test your abilities, and because you want to prove to yourself that you can overcome any obstacle, then Mythic raiding is what you should aim for. I have to stress the time factor once more though, as you will be expected to go above and beyond the average player, and most guilds will expect you to know boss mechanics, class changes, and similar things long before Mythic raiding is actually out. Mythic difficulty won't be available along with the normal and heroic difficulty in order to give you and your raid group time to prepare properly. This also means that there are no excuses anymore once Mythic hits. Now, as you were able to see, raiding has a whole bunch of different aspects to its name. Because of the many difficulty levels in the content, I think that everyone should be able to find a raid environment that suits them the best and enjoy themselves while raiding. Finding the right group of people to go on these adventures with can be a difficult decision, but I hope that through this video you are able to outweigh the odds and ask yourself the final question: what is raiding truly worth to me? I have no set in stone answer for you, but I have no doubt in my mind that all of you will go out there and be an enrichment to the raid groups you will join. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. If you have enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like. If you'd like to see more of my content, then don't hesitate and subscribe. Have a good one, my friends, and I'll see you all in the next one.